Just as a quick disclaimer, things get very confusing very quickly in this redstone video. You see, I'm building something complicated and I didn't really know what direction I was going with it, so this is me just trying to find my way. Hope you enjoy. For those of you who are fans of the Hermitcraft series, you will know that we are currently in the process of setting up a mega store called SAHARA. It's a competitor to the real life Amazon, and we're building it on the Hermitcraft server, and it's going to sell everything, and it's all going to be fully automated. Now, when things are fully automated, they tend to require quite a lot of redstone. Now, from a player's perspective, here's how it's all going to work. We've got a system that looks a little bit like this. Down at the bottom here, we've got ourselves a chest, and on the inside of the chest, we've got a bunch of different items, and they're all going to be named something like this. Now, this is carrots, 1 diamond for 8 stacks. Also, if you take a look up at the top here, you can see we've got buttons and we've got redstone lamps. Right now, we're doing a double order. That one is selected, which means that when we throw this item out, we're going to pay 2 diamonds and we're going to get 16 stacks of carrots. So we throw that out, that gets picked up by the hoppers, the system detects it, and then it adds that to our order. And that order is going to be compiled and then brought to us in a box once we pay. Now that, my friends, is going to be a challenge. But before we start, I just want to say, Iskal's done a really cracking job of working out the payment system, the number of diamonds it's going to cost. This is really intelligent. I never would have built this. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to build up one section of this system just so that we can get our minds straight on this one. And then that, in theory, can be transferred across to all the different sections, because there's going to be a section for every single item that we have in the system. And the system is probably going to have a lot of items. We're talking at least 20. Which means that there's going to be 80 of these. Oh my word. This is me from the future saying that no, there's not going to be 80. We decided to change up the system so that if you put through a quad order, you get 4 shulker boxes filled with items as opposed to 1 shulker box filled up with 4 times as many items. Hope that makes sense. I've managed to make some pretty serious progress here, and I've gotten over one of the first hurdles, and I'm quite proud of it. So here we have a shulker box that is filled in with yellow wool. You can see that all of these shulker boxes have 4 stacks of yellow wool in them, so if you were to put in a diamond, you would get 1 shulker box with 4 stacks of yellow wool on the inside. And we need to make sure that the system can keep this supply inside that dropper. So when we hit this button right here, you can see that shulker box has just been shot into the system. It would go into a water stream and make its way into a minecart chest, which would then go to the player. But then the system is now replenishing its supply of yellow wool shulker boxes. So here we have our yellow wool storage. You can see the shulker box has just been dispensed out right there, and it is gradually filling up. Then eventually this comparator will be able to give an output, which will then activate this timing circuit, which means that exactly 4 stacks of yellow wool have gone into that shulker box right there, and it drops down into the system. But that isn't the smart part. The smart part is the fact that the system knows how many have gone missing. So for example, say I want a lot of these things, and I order 1, 2, 3 of them. All of those will be shot out, and you can see that now this dropper right here is missing 3 of its shulker boxes. Well, it's already in the process of replenishing 1 of the shulker boxes. And then eventually, when that thing is fully replenished, it will be broken, and then we'll get ourselves another one, and that will be replenished. And then when that one fills up, the system will know, and that one will be dropped out, and eventually it will fill up and be broken by the system again, and then there we go, it will stop. So we still have 1 shulker box that is filled up with these. Nice. And yes, of course I meant to say dropper. There's a lot of shulker boxes involved here, my mind's just set on them. The next thing that I need to do is the logic that allows the refill of the empty shulker boxes. So we've got all of these comparators set up, and we've got hoppers and everything, but this isn't quite going to work properly, because the issue is that when one of these shulker boxes gets dispensed, then obviously all of this redstone turns off. But if the hopper minecart stops overhead, a bunch of them can drop in before the comparators actually switch on, which means that we end up with an overflow. So I've actually thought of a simpler way to do this that doesn't involve any redstone, which is just to fill up all of the hoppers right the way to the brim with empty shulker boxes. So we have empty shulker boxes filled up to here, then this is where our minecart is going to go, and unless there's space, if there is space, then it will be created automatically. But if there's no space, then there's no way the shulker boxes can drop in there. So we just use the fullness to automatically refill it. This all sounds very, very confusing. I do apologize for that. I'm trying my best to explain everything in the simplest terms possible, but it's a little bit of a challenge. Anyway, what I'm doing now is, first off, I've built a bunch more modules, so we now have all of those in place. But now I'm in the process of just putting in the systems that allow us to drop off the empty shulker boxes from our chest minecart that's doing the rounds. But before I do anything like that, I should probably test that these things actually do function properly, even when they're directly next to one another. I haven't tried that yet. Good news, everyone, they do. Yeah, that's something that I'd forgotten about. The fact that when a hopper minecart or a chest minecart breaks, it stops being a chest minecart. It becomes a minecart and a chest on the side. For no reason. Why is that a thing? It seems like such a silly thing. I gotta say, I do love watching minecart chest systems working. As frustrating as they are, I mean, look at this thing. So this is our empty shulker box unloading system. It's gradually dropping off all of the empty shulker boxes into each one of the modules by sitting above the hopper for a little while and then moving on. And the thing that I like is that at the end right here, we've got this little circuit that just checks to see if there's any empty shulker boxes left in that chest. If there are, then it will trigger that comparator and it will send the little minecart chest back around to the beginning so it can do another loop, so it can fully clear itself out before it leaves the system, because otherwise these are gradually going to run out of shulker boxes, and also people are going to end up with empty shulker boxes in their orders, which nobody wants. Except that was super unreliable, so we've had to go back to the drawing board. That's not good. I'm assuming if I start putting items in... Yeah. Minecart chests just need to be on fire at all times. Or not, as the case may be, because I think I've just come up with a pretty smart system. So, the player has just gone through, they've ordered in all of their items, and they are sat in this hopper right here, and then they say, you know what, I want the order delivered now. I'm done with the ordering, get these items over to me. So they hit this button, or hit a button, it then runs into those pistons, those items, and then loaded into the minecart chest, and then it travels off and meets up with the player. Then when the player is done with the minecart chest, it will then be sent back to the top right here. All of the empty shulker boxes will be dumped into these hoppers, which will cycle the empty shulker boxes around, gradually dropping them into the correct locations, and then the minecart chest will be reloaded back into that tube. I think this might be it. And by it, I just meant the minecart return. There's still so much left to do, it's unreal. So let's move on to what happens when the minecart actually reaches the player. Now, this all has to be automated too, and what I was thinking is that the chest minecart lands on this hopper right here, and then we have a system that dispenses out all of the shulker boxes. So it dispenses out a shulker box, you pick up all the items, and then that shulker box gets broken, then the next shulker box arrived, you pick up all your items, and so on and so forth. That way, lazy people like me don't have to do lots of walking around the store. And if I just fake a delivery, so we just place these into here, and then push the minecart along, you can see that that drops down into the system. You watch as the shulker boxes are unloaded by the minecart chest. It then travels off down to the bottom here, ready to be filled up with all of the empty shulker boxes, and then we can grab the items from the shulker boxes. So you see, we grab these, and then the shulker box is removed, we get the next one, and then we get the next one, and then this should be it. And that's it. All of the empty shulker boxes have gone back into this minecart chest, ready to be taken back into the system, and we have all of our kit really nice and easily. I'd say that's done pretty well. The only thing that I am slightly struggling with is when to send this minecart off. But I think I have just thought of something, which is to combine the outputs from the dispenser. So when the dispenser is empty, obviously there's no more shulker boxes. So we'll have an output from there. And we'll also have the output from the shulker box being empty, which happens so we know when to break it. So we'll take that output, combine it with the output from the dispenser, and then we'll know that the dispenser is empty, the last shulker box is empty, and thus we can send off the minecarts. Yeah, that's a good move. So let's see what happens here then. That minecart's just moved off. If we pick up these, you know the drill. We go through all of the shulker boxes. Okay, that's number 3. And then here's the important one, number 4. Yes. Might have been a bit too early, but it wasn't. So that has picked up all of the empty shulker boxes and then has travelled off. Yes! So now that we've worked that one out, I've connected up the minecart rails, so now this is a completed loop. And in theory, this all by itself is kind of like a small prototype system. So I'm going to get it set up with a bunch of different items. This one's already done, so we have carrots in here. So you'll be buying 4 stacks of carrots, I do believe. And then we're going to set up all of the other ones, all different quantities, all different types of items, and then we can do some trial orders. Okay, let's see what happens here. So we're looking for 2 stacks. 2 stacks, 2 stacks, 2 stacks. Hopefully my timing is perfect. That looked good. That looked good. That was good. Okay. I repeated the same sort of process for the other 2 modules. So this one is beacons, and we only want 1 beacon per shulker box, so that was nice and simple. And then this is 8 stacks. So this will give us 8 stacks of dirt right here. So let's do a real quick trial order. Okay, and I'm so nervous at this point in time, but let's just give it a whirl. So I want 4 stacks of carrots. That's good. I want 2 stacks of gold. That's dropped into the system. I would like a beacon. And I would like 8 stacks of dirt, please. And then you know what? I think I actually want 2 more stacks of gold. Okay. And I am going to place that order right now. So there is our little minecart chest. That has all been processed and has all ended up here. And our little minecart chest has made its way back into this area, ready to reset. That's brilliant. So I got my 4 stacks of carrots. That's good. I got my 8 stacks of dirt. Fantastic. I've got my beacon. I got my 2 stacks of gold. And I've got my other 2 stacks of gold. That's everything today. And off my empty shulker boxes go, up to the top here, to be loaded back into all of the circuits and things. And then eventually that moves off and resets. Hopefully that was enough time for it to clear out. Yes, it was. And hopefully that's filled, that's filled, that's filled, and that's filled. And these are in the process of resetting. So this one right here, let's see. This one is still in the middle of resetting, so that is gradually filling up. Yep, we can see the shulker box right there, so that is actually in the process of filling up. Oh, we've got Iskal online. Yeah, this is all looking good. This is all looking cool. I hope this looks cool. You're wearing a very strange outfit today. Iskal has just confirmed to me after a demonstration that it is cool, which has made my day. So, all the hard work has not been in vain. This has taken me many, many hours, but this looks like the system that we're going to be using in our Sahara shop. Now, obviously, the one that we're going to be using is much, much bigger. We're going to have way more items. This is just 4 items. We're probably going to have about 15, 16. So, massive. And also, the minecart lines are going to be considerably further as well, because we're going to be transporting the items from our warehouse over into the shop, which is going to look awesome. So you're going to be able to watch your minecart travel across the sky. I just can't wait. I'm honestly so excited for this. This is one of the coolest redstone projects I've had the chance to work on in survival mode. But anyway, I really do hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please also hit that like button. And if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later.